There's this idea that big changes require big effort. But in reality, it's the small things we do every day that shape our lives. The tiny, consistent actions that compound over time, those are the ones that make a difference. That's why for this video, I wanted to share some 1-minute micro habits that have genuinely improved my life, helping me not just be more organized and productive, but also improve how I feel the entire day. One of the biggest reasons we feel overwhelmed is because of all the tiny, unfinished tasks piling up around us. Responding to a short text, putting back the shoes in the cabinet, folding the blanket, clearing the table. And the moment I think I'll do it later, I'm just adding another thing to my mental to-do list. So, the rule is simple. If something takes less than a minute, do it immediately. Oftentimes, we let small things stack up. Clothes on the chair, unopened emails, or courier packages. And the more we ignore them, the more cluttered our space and mind becomes. But by taking tiny 1-minute actions, we can prevent small tasks from snowballing into a bigger mess. And once you start doing it regularly, you'll notice how easily things stay in order without needing a big cleanup session. Most of us start new habits with a lot of enthusiasm. But within days, we lose motivation or forget about them altogether. I'll tell myself I need to read every day, drink enough water, or go for a walk. But without tracking, I forget about them half the time. And that's why it's so important. What gets tracked gets done. I created my own habit tracker template last month that I printed out to put up at my workspace. Every time I complete a habit, I check it off or mark it green. And when I see that streak building, it gives a sense of achievement and motivates me to keep going. If you want to track your progress, you can print one too and stick it somewhere visible, because if you see it, you'll do it. It's a small effort that makes a huge difference in building consistency, and it literally takes less than a minute to do. Our brains are not a storage unit. Every time a task, idea, or reminder pops up while I'm busy, I think I'll take it up later, but more often than not, I completely forget about them. That's why I keep a brain dump list on my notes app. Not for deep journaling, just a quick note to jot down anything important so my brain doesn't have to carry the mental burden of remembering everything. A random idea, a task you just remembered, something you need to buy, or a birthday call you need to make. Just write it down. This way I feel way less overwhelmed and can easily focus on one task at any given moment. It's such a simple habit, but it frees so much mental space while making sure you don't forget anything. And it takes just a few seconds to do. We don't realize just how much damage sitting for hours does to our body until we feel the stiffness and pain creeping in. That aching lower back, the tight shoulders, the tension in your neck, all from just sitting too long in the same slouching position. When I'm super involved in work or have a pending deadline, I often feel like I can't get up for a break. That's where this simple 1-minute habit helps a lot. One quick stretch every hour. This doesn't need a yoga mat or moving to another place. Just roll your shoulders back, stretch your arms overhead, do a few neck rolls or tilts side to side, and twist your spine a little. Just 1 minute of stretching can help release tension and make you feel so much better. So set a quick reminder if you need to, and your body will thank you later. Most of us don't even realize how often we get interrupted. Every notification, be it social media, emails, or some random app, pulls us away from focus and wastes way more time than we think. Most times, I feel like I'm not even living my day like I wanted to. I am just responding to everything that's been thrown at me. So I now keep all the non-essential notifications turned off, like the news app or Gmail or social media. I don't even have YouTube notifications on. Just text and calls, and it makes it way less tempting to check on my phone every other minute and lose another hour to one tiny notification that was totally not important. Instead of letting notifications dictate your time, take control. Silence them if you're not yet ready to turn them off. Now, I only check apps when I want to, not because my phone demands it. And I promise you, the world won't fall apart if you don't see every notification immediately. You know that mental struggle when it's lunchtime? You're hungry and you have no clue what to eat. So you either waste time figuring it out, or you just order something unhealthy because it's easier. Mornings are always busy for most of us, and the last thing we need is the added stress of planning what to cook. So before I go to bed, I take a minute to decide my meals for the next day, or even for the next 3 days if I'm planning ahead. I already have a list of breakfast, lunch, and dinner menu in my notes app, so I can easily pick what I feel like eating or what I have the time for. I just take a minute to answer a couple of questions like, what do I want to have for lunch? Do I need to soak some pulses for cooking? Do I need to order any groceries? This tiny habit saves time, money, and decision fatigue, and helps me simplify my day. Just jot it down on your phone or stick a note on your fridge, and this would help you avoid any last-minute panic. Well, skincare doesn't have to be complicated or fancy, but taking just 1 minute to apply a serum, moisturizer, and sunscreen makes a big difference over time. If I skip this even for a day, I realize how bad my skin feels, super dry and dull. So now, on lazy days, I just keep it simple. Just put a moisturizer with SPF and done. Small, consistent care now would definitely prevent bigger issues later whether that's dryness, breakouts, or premature aging. So, spending this 1 minute for myself is definitely worth it. I know this is one of the most fundamental things our body does by default. But many of us don't realize it when we don't breathe correctly. We take shallow breaths from our chest, especially when we are stressed, which keeps our nervous system on edge. But instead of breathing from your chest, let your stomach expand like a balloon. That's belly breathing, and it's a game changer. Just a few deep belly breaths signal your brain to calm down, slow your heart rate, and instantly brings back focus. So, if you're ever feeling anxious, overwhelmed, or even just distracted, take a minute to do deep breathing and see how it makes you feel. This 1 minute habit has literally helped me so many times in handling stress, so try it out for yourself. Those were some 1 minute habits that have genuinely improved my life without taking much effort. Less clutter, less stress, more time and peace of mind. The best part, they don't require any extra time or energy, and they are so easy to start. I'm curious to know which one of these habits spoke to you, or if you already have one that makes a difference in your life. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, I would really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.